So voila, so we move on to the Netherlands now, really. So I would like to say hello again to Miseta Blauw. Miseta, you're going to tell us about GOED. You're a cooperative in the Netherlands. You will explain us the business case, I mean, how you work and what you do. So I give you straight on the floor.
Okay, maybe this is just the opening. Next slide, please. Yes, coöperatie GOED. I'm probably the only one who can actually pronounce the G right. Stands for good production and sharing, if you translate it in English. We are a civil movement. We are founded in the Netherlands about 5 years ago. We have now a little over 600 members all over the Netherlands and a little bit more than 6 megawatt peak in production developed or already producing. What we want is a radical system change, but we're not really able to actually change the system. We can just hack it. So what we do is we operate within the current system, take all the when someone says, no, we can't do this, I say, okay, hold my beer. And we find a way to make it work. And we bring it on as many people around us with knowledge of this specific thing and say, can we turn it around and use it to actually benefit a more fair world? If you want to read more about it, the Rural Energy Community Advisory Hub has written down everything we do. So, but it's a pretty long report, so just pointing towards it. Next slide, please. What is our model? We haven't been like totally swimming within the cooperative community, but we were always working side by side it, and we saw that if you have the production ready, you can do with it whatever you want. So what we did was we develop a renewable energy project to actually make our own energy. It's just something that lots of people do or lots of companies do. We can do that ourselves and then decide to do it differently with whatever happens from there. I mean, a company like Shell could do exactly the same thing that we do. So what we did is when we have this project developed, we place it in our cooperative. So that way we make it from everybody in democratic structure. And it's collectively owned by everyone who wants and has the capacity to join. Membership is free. We do not want to have any financial boundary to actually join. So we say everybody can join, nobody pays and nobody gets anything. So we donate all our profits to social causes. Sometimes it's a cause that is decided upon by the person that has the land or the roof available for the operation of the production site. And he says, well, I know that my sport or my community center or the church has really a lot of trouble paying their electricity bill. Can I use my roof to produce energy, and we can help that certain location? So it's never for the person who has the roof available, but always for the community surrounding it. Next slide, please. Well, we're founded in Groningen, and that's not an accident. Groningen is the richest and the poorest energy province of the Netherlands. If you look at energy poverty, we have the most households in the biggest trouble. If you see how many money is made on energy in this province, that's a lot because we have a huge pile of natural gas. That's why you actually see in Groningen and the north of the Netherlands that a lot of energy communities were founded as a response to inequality of power and money and wealth, etc., from energy production. It's initiated by Robin Doet. That's my company. It's a social company, and it stands for Robin Does. Some people called me, you're like the Robin Hood of the energy transition. And it's like, yeah, we're trying. So we said, we're stealing from the rich and giving it to the poor. And yeah, we know how they do it, and we can do that too. but we're going to do it for the better. Next. Well, as said, everything we do is by us, with us, and for us. So we use the energy transition actually not as something that has anything to do with technique. The technique, we know that you can use it, but it's what you do with it that brings value. We fight inequality with renewable production. And we also tell people that this energy transition is something that we have to do it, but the way we do it, and if they want to join it, they can decide that you can do it differently. So one really interesting example was I was at a church meeting, and that was in an area that has like the flipped over Dutch flag. Farmers really angry because there's also windmills there. Everybody hates the energy transition, and I was there, and the people of the church says we have trouble paying our electricity bill. Is there any farmer who wants to provide their roof for production of energy so we can heat the church? Well, there was a farmer, he stand up and he said, well, I do not have a roof, but I do have land available for a solar power field. That stunned me. I was like, well, I really? Am I still in this country where you hate everything that has to do with energy production and where you cannot curse in the church for actually saying that we have to put it on valuable ground for farmers? Well, so this was one of the examples that I said, when you bring your story to people and tell them it's for something that has value, then the energy transition is not a problem at all. It's just not it's a non-topic anymore. So that's what we do. Everybody can contribute, and every contribution has value. So when we go in a certain area, we value the people who work there as a volunteer. They're more important than us because we're replaceable. Because technique, it's technique. But the one who can point out that one family that is in need, or that one person who always helps the others and can actually tell the story, that's way more valuable than my work. So that's how we value it. Next slide. Yeah, this is something really interesting. My 70-year-old said, Mom, you're saying you're doing this for my future, but why can't I decide? So we are actually now creating a new energy corporation as a child corporation, working together with ours. And it's the first corporation owned by children born after 2000, with their own production capacity and with their own projects. And they can do whatever they want with it, as long as it's with the same values. Share our values to our children, etc. And we're founding it this month, and it's really something that has put it made my work a lot more fun. Because when you ask a child, like, what should we do with money that we make from energy, they have better ideas than any adult at all, and they're more fair. They're always looking for a better world, and so it just makes my life a lot easier to work with children, because they want the things that I want, and I still have my blind spots that I just think, but I have to have a car, and they're like, no, yeah, I have to have a car. So that it's really great working with them. I think there's one more. Yes. Yeah, well, we have a lot of different types of projects, mostly roofs, 2 solar fields now in production, in development. And what we do is we just look locally and ask locally, like, what is in need here? What has value for as many people as possible? And how can we make sure that everybody, and especially vulnerable people, have the ability to actually still go there? Because rich people can just choose to go somewhere else. So if there's something, a school is closed in a certain area, or a city center, like a community center is closed, the people who have the most fallback from it are the ones who are already vulnerable. So we always donate the money as locally as possible, but also trying to have it as as impactful as possible for the poorest who need it the most. That's it.
Thanks a lot, Musetta. Really, really interesting presentation of your business model. I think we all appreciated it. Not only the presentation, but also this hacking spirit that you had mentioned at the beginning. I think it's really the way to go. Not giving anything for granted, and not taking no for an answer. I think that's very refreshing. Also, because you put, I think also what is good for us is that you put your description of your really useful work in the broader context, not only related to energy, but in the broader context of the fight against inequality, poverty and inequality, which I think is very important.
The energy poverty is a new concept.
Yeah.
When we started, there wasn't energy poverty, and we just said there's poverty.
Yes.
Now that energy is a problem, it makes the poverty even worse. So poverty is just poverty.
Absolutely. No, thanks a lot for that. And I also really appreciated the emphasis that you put on ownership, including by younger persons who are now bringing forward their own ideas. So thanks a lot for that, and for the Robin Doet spirit, and of course for the work that you bring forward with your organization. Thanks, Musetta.